Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I got in another flashlight to take a look at. This one's coming from Ycbright and the model is the YC8001. This is a multi-function flat style EDC light. It's going to have a laser in it. It's going to have a flashlight up here, a cob light on the side, and then kind of a secret hidden thing that I've never seen on a flashlight before. So stick around if you want to learn about it. We'll do a real quick unboxing, go over all the features and specifications, go over the user interface of everything. We'll give you guys some beam shots and then give some thoughts on it. So we got a little bit of information on this side. Looks like it's going to be type C, 1.5 meter impact resistance, IP67 waterproof rated, 1000 lumens max. Not going to go over all of this stuff, but you can see some of it. You can pause and read any of this that you wish to. And nothing on this side. Alright, let's see how it's packaged here. Alright, here we go. Alright, looks like we have a charging cable, type A to type C. We're going to have a manual. Okay, and I'll kind of show you everything here. You can pause and read anything that you want. I always like showing the manuals just in case you buy this flashlight. And if you lose your manual, you can always come back to this video for reference. And then we have the flashlight itself here. Give you guys some close-ups of it. So the flashlight is made out of some type of aluminum alloy, and then it has like a hard anodization on it that's supposed to help prevent scratches and corrosion and rust. Up top we're going to have the main light. The LED in that is a Samsung LH35 1D, and then the laser is going to be there. I'm not sure what LEDs are using for the side light there. Going to have the USB-C charging port there. Looks like here's kind of like our main control switch. Little button on the side over here that says B. That's kind of like the unique thing that I've never seen on a flashlight before. I'll go over that in a bit. We have a pocket clip there. And then this does have a magnetic base. The battery on this is built in. It's 1000 milliamp hours. And from completely dead to fully charged takes about an hour. Grab you guys some quick dimensions here. We're looking at an overall length of 5.29 inches, a width of 1.09, and a thickness of 0.62. And there it is in the middle of a dollar bill. Looking at a total weight of 3.6 ounces. So let's just get into using it. They do recommend fully charging it before use. So if you get this light, do fully charge yours. But I'm going to get into the laser first. You can see there's 3 little buttons right here. This one right here goes with the laser. If the flashlight's completely off, you haven't used it for anything in a while, you have to hold this for about a half second. And then that's going to turn that on. You see these green lights right here? That actually is a battery level indicator. And we actually have like all 4 of them lit up, so we're basically somewhere near 100% already. But if you were down to 1, you probably have around 25% or less. 2 is somewhere near 50%, 3 is 75%. But our laser is on right now. I believe they claim that the distance that this can go is around 500 meters. I'll try to get this outside maybe at night and see what the distance we can get is on it. If you want to shut it off, you just press the button and it shuts off. Now that we've been like activated, the light's on, you just have to tap the button to turn it back on. You don't have to like hold it for that half second. If this flashlight doesn't detect anything in use for about 5 minutes, it will actually power itself back down. The main light's going to have 6 different modes. You got eco, low, medium, high, strobe, SOS. It actually doesn't go in that order. It goes like high, medium, low, eco, SOS, and then finally strobe. Here are the outputs and runtimes for all of those. It says 800 lumens right there. The box said 1,000 lumens for the brightness. Maybe the side light combined, because it's 185 lumens. Maybe they're adding those together. I'm not exactly sure, but just wanted to point that out. But this main light does have a mode memory, so I'm going to turn it on, and whatever I was last on is what it just came back on. I'll show you that here again. So if we shut it off, I believe that's probably the high, I turn it back on, I'm going to come back on in that same setting, and if we hit it again, see, it is a decently bright light. If we hit it again, it's going to go a little bit lower, a little bit lower. It's still on, but it's lower output. So let's shut it off here, and you do that just by long pressing. And now I'm going to long press to turn it back on, and it should be that low output again. Yeah, it is. As you can see, it kind of almost looks like it's barely on. Then this is the SOS. And the next one's going to be the strobe. It's not a real like intense flashy strobe, but if you are sensitive, you can look away here. It's more just like a steady flash. And then if we hit it again, we're going to go back to the high. So again, high, medium, kind of low, really low, SOS, and then the strobe. I know this highest output, that 800 lumens, it says that it has a runtime of an hour. I will have to mess with this and see if I like notice any drastic step downs. I'll be pretty impressed if that actually does last a full hour. It probably only goes a few minutes and then it starts like kind of dimming or stepping a little bit, but if that maintains 800, that's actually pretty decent. The side light here, the cob light, it's this button right here to turn it on. We're going to have a yellow light, a white light, a red flashing, and I believe a UV light. And we're just going to get here by just long pressing this. Came on in whatever was memorized for last time. This is the first time I've turned on, so it's on in the red flashing. If we click it, this is going to be the UV next, and then it should go to the yellow light. And again, I'll show you all these at night so we can get a good idea for it. This is the white light. We're going to have red next. And then this will be that red flashing. And then back to the UV. And that does look like that puts off a decent amount of light. Again, a cob light is supposed to be kind of like a dispersed floodlight. So what was the secret I was talking about earlier in this B button? This actually has an alarm built into it, almost like a personal safety alarm or a signaling device or whatever. And we're going to get to that by long pressing this for a few seconds. And then it's going to kind of come up on the display here. Now all we have to do is hit this button, and then there's almost like a area here and here that it's going to come out of, and it is pretty loud. Again, 120 decibels. And as long as you keep pressing that, it will keep going. They actually have multiple different sounds on here, and I'll show you how to get through the different ones. So yeah, there's 3 different modes. I haven't checked to see what they sound like, but you double click this cob button here, the side button, and these will start flashing. And now we single click, and we're on number 1. So let's double click to confirm that one, and then we'll just see what it sounds like. All right, let's get back into programming again. And then let's go to number 2. Let's double click that. Confirmed it. Now let's see what that one sounds like. Alright, let's double click, get into programming, and then that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, we'll double click. So 1 and 3 sound similar, but 1 is definitely a much higher pitch. I'm back on 1 now. Definitely more piercing, louder. So I originally thought that it was coming out the sides, but there's actually a speaker on the back here. So I may have been covering it up when I was doing number 3, so I'm going to go back and do that one again. So we're set. Yeah, doing it that way. 3 seemed pretty loud too, but it does seem like 3 just like has like a specific duration that it goes, whereas like on 1, which I'm back on now, when you hit it and as soon as you release it shuts off. 3 does not do that. When you hit it on 3, it just goes for like, I don't know, 10 or 15 seconds. And from what I've found from messing with this, once you've activated this, there's kind of no way of shutting it off except for you just don't use the light for the 4 or 5 minutes and then it will power itself off. Like the other ones, you just hold the button to shut it back off. This here, if you hold the button, it just keeps doing the alarm sound. So basically just don't hit the button and it will turn itself off then. Show you guys what this looks like in a pocket. See, it is a very deep carry. I really like that. Basically none of the light sticks up out of your pocket at all. Comes down to about right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Also want to show you the magnetic base feature. No problems at all holding itself vertically. Let's see about horizontally. Yeah, it's actually a pretty strong magnet then. And just with messing with it here, I found out that you can actually turn your flashlight on and turn the laser on. See the laser right there? At the same time, and have the cob light. So you can actually have every single thing going at the same time with it. 2 things I wanted to point out before we do the nighttime shots. It looks like it does have a 1-year warranty. Wanted to tell you guys that. And then the second thing, it says it has a lockout setting. I can't find anything that you press to get it to lock out. They might just mean that after the 5 minutes it just locks itself out. Alright, we'll get the light charged up next. Again, we'll take that included USB-C cable, plug it in, and we are charging. I would assume that all 4 lights will just stay solid once it's finished charging. Alright, we'll see what this YC8001 looks like here in the dark. It's going to come on in the highest setting first. As you can see, it is a fairly cool color temperature on it. We'll go down through them here next. And now we're going to have the blinkies. This is going to be the SOS. And then finally the strobe. So if you're sensitive to that, you can look away. Try to show you the side or the cob light here next. That is on kind of like the more of the yellow tint. That is like the pure white. Got red next. Got the flashing red. And then the UV probably won't show a whole lot out here. Yeah, it doesn't. Alright, we'll go through the main light outside here. There's a row of trees that's about 60 or 70 feet away. It's going to start off on the high first. And you can see it does throw a beam pretty well for being a fairly small light. And there I have the light attached to the side of the car. You can see how helpful it'd be if you needed to change out a tire or something in the dark. And there I have it attached on the side of the car with the red flashing, obviously, so that would definitely get somebody's attention. And right now I'm only 100 feet or so away from the garage, but you can clearly see that red laser. The camera won't pick it up as well, but I can see this for at least 400 or 500 yards. And there it is, kind of using like the main light and the side light together. So hopefully seeing those nighttime shots and then a couple uses with this magnet were somewhat beneficial for you guys. I was actually pleasantly surprised by the overall performance of this. I thought on that highest setting, whether it's 800 lumens or 1000 lumens, I kind of figured it was going to step down almost immediately, and I couldn't see any visible step down for a long time. Now the light did get fairly warm up here around the head, but as long as you were holding it back here, it didn't affect anything. This YC8001, it actually seems like it's built pretty well. It doesn't feel cheap really on anything. It has really good output, would be a decent EDC light. It's mainly flood, but it does have like a center hotspot. It's not like super focused. It's a little bit wider of a hotspot, but it definitely has one, so it does have some throw to it as well. I like that it has mode memory for the main light and the cob light, and that there are multiple different modes of each thing as far as, your high, mediums, lows, all that, plus the different cycles of white light, the yellow light, the red light, all those different modes. I actually really like the flat design flashlights. They are super easy to carry. You don't have like a big head of a flashlight basically sticking down in your pocket. And then I really like this deep carry clip, plenty of retention on it, and basically none of the flashlight sticks up out of your pocket. I like that it has this magnetic base. It's actually really strong. I did drop it in my driveway, trying to put it on the side of my son's car. It was in the dark, and on his rear fender there's like this hard lip that comes out, and I was like, I didn't know it, and when I stuck it on there, only like a corner was stuck, and when I went to walk away it fell. So I did take a chunk out of the light right there, but I think overall that magnet is very strong. Just put it on a flat surface. I like that it has your battery status indicator right there, so you kind of know where you're at and if you need to charge up the light or not. As far as the laser, it has worked perfectly fine. Again, you can see it for several hundred yards. As far as that whistle buzzer thing goes, it's kind of unique. I've never seen it on a flashlight before, but it does work really well. What you could do is have your main light programmed. Let me get it down here. You could have that programmed for strobe, and then at the same time have your buzzer, so like, if you're walking out of a business to your car in a parking lot or something like that, have this set up to where it's going to come right onto the strobe, and you could do that at the same time as somebody were attacking you. So it is a good self-defense tool. Somebody's going to ask me about the battery in the comments. I don't think the battery is meant to be replaced on a light like this. You should still get years and years and years of discharges and full recharge cycles. I can't tell you how many, but it should be hundreds and hundreds. One thing I kind of wish is, I wish that as it is right now, it kind of goes like high, medium, low, eco, then your blinky modes. I kind of wish it went the opposite. I wish it started kind of in the eco and then went up through. It's just a minor thing, but and it does have mode memory, so you can always stop it in eco. So when you turn it on, it'll be back in eco. But if you want to go to high, you still got to go through the blinkies to get to it. I also personally wish that this clip were black instead of this blue. When it's in your shorts or jeans or whatever, it kind of stands out a little bit. I know it's kind of designed to match like this ring and stuff right here, but I would rather have a black one, and I don't see any way of pulling that off. You probably got to pop stuff loose. I don't see any screws in it holding it in there. But yeah, I would definitely prefer that to be black. And then probably the only other thing I would say is on these side lights, there's no way of going through other levels of outputs on them. So like if this is too bright, that's kind of what you get, because when you switch to the next one, it's a different color. So I wish that they had like a high and a low for like that yellow and for this white and stuff. But overall, I actually really like it and would definitely recommend it. These are available on Amazon, and at the time of me recording, the price says $55.95. I've had this for about 3 weeks, and I watch the prices every day to see where they stay. This has stayed in the 30 some odd dollar range. And in fact, right now there's a coupon that you can click for $15 off. And then there's also a redeemable code that you can click. So it brings it down into the 30 some dollar range. It's a fantastic light for 30 some dollars. It's probably comparable to like the Olight, the ArcField Pro, and that's $100 some. But alright guys, if you found the video helpful or informative in any way, please give me a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And that's going to be it on this one. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.